Hey guys, Kiki here, and yes, we are talking once again about Steve Perry and Willie Nelson and the amazing cover that they did together of Faithfully. I couldn't believe this when I read it, but it's true. Steve has not done this one thing in the past 30 years. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But I have to say, this version that these two iconic gentlemen did together, I love it. There are mixed opinions about it, but I personally have seen mostly positive reviews on Steve and Willie's version of Faithfully. Tell us what you think in the comments down below. I personally was very moved by it when I first heard it. I have listened to it several times since, and I think, like I had said in a previous video, it just brings the both of them to where they're at today. And were we going to get an 80s sounding Steve Perry? I really hope no one thought that. I really hope no one even thinks that, because we're not going to. And it's fine and dandy by me, and I'm sure it is by you too. Anything by Steve, we're gonna just take it. So I do have my notes here, and I do have to read them because I did not memorize these things. By the way, hello, how are you? We do have a radio station. You can't really see it, but it's kiki.fm, free in the App Store. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and all that fun stuff. So thanks so much for being here. But Steve said about Willie that no one has a voice or vocal phrasing anything like Willie Nelson. Singing this with Willie has been something I've always wanted to do. What a wonderful experience it was to finally sing with Willie. I'm so proud of what we have accomplished together. And then of course, Willie has said something about singing with Steve. He said, working with Steve Perry on Faithfully was a meaningful experience. It was a pleasure to collaborate on this song. I'm proud that we could create something meaningful and use it to give back through farm aid. Now, both of these gentlemen have a very high mutual respect for each other, but I thought, as I was reading, about some of the interviews that these guys did, that they would have recorded it together. But today, nobody has to record anything together if they don't want to. This was recorded separately. Willie was in his studio, Steve was in his studio, and to me, it just would have been so fun if we could have seen them recording this together. And just like the Dolly Rockstar, CD set, a lot of these people, I don't know if she did any. She might have done some duets with the particular artist, but I don't think most of them were done personally. Most of them were probably done virtually. I believe so. So the thing that Steve Perry has not done in 3 decades / 30 years is sing faithfully in a public forum. I know. When you think about that, when you read it and then you say it, you're like, oh my gosh, he has not sung this song in so long. And it's kind of crazy. So my questions, of course, these are my questions about this whole thing, which is fantabulous, by the way. Why Faithfully? Why did Steve choose to collaborate on Faithfully? There are so many other Journey songs that he could have chosen, but he didn't. He chose this one. He could have also chosen one of his solo songs, but he didn't. He chose this one. And how did the Willie Steve collab happen? Well, I don't know for sure, but a few things that I have read. Steve said that he had always thought about doing something with Willie Nelson. Who knew? I would have never thought these two would pair up to do something, but apparently Steve said back in the 80s when Willie would come and see Journey, yeah, I guess that was a thing. Steve said he remembers specifically singing Faithfully. I don't know if it was one particular moment in time that Willie was there, but he said Willie was at a Journey concert back in the early 80s. While Steve was singing Faithfully on the stage, he said that he had imagined him singing that song with Willie Nelson. Now, we all know about visualization. We all know about, hoping that things come true, writing it down, and it'll happen. Well, clearly, he thought about it. Maybe he said it out loud, and it did eventually happen. Like, what, 30, 40 years later. So I think that's pretty cool. And now Faithfully is one of the greatest power ballads that we have ever heard. It's from 1982. It is from their album Frontiers, and Jonathan Cain wrote it. So like I had mentioned in my other video, has Jonathan heard this song? What does he think about it? Did they have to ask his permission to record the song? I don't know. These are all questions I would love to know, and maybe you would like to know too. And, you know, what would Jonathan think about Steve re-releasing this song as a duet after all of these years? Questions in my noggin. Yes, there are questions in my noggin, so I don't know. Will they get answered? Probably. We shall see. So bottom line is, you know, I've read some comments. Steve and Willie, not really feeling it. But again, most of the comments I've read, people are loving it. However, bottom line is that 100% of the proceeds of this single, this re-release of Faithfully, is all going to support Farm Aid. So not a penny is going in either Willie or Steve's pocket. And I find that the fact that they're doing this record in support of such a great cause is, again, just amazing and wonderful that they both took the time to put this together. Not only for the benefit of Farm Aid, but for the benefit of fans of both Willie and Steve. But, you know, we love Steve. We love Willie too, but we're all Steve Crackalicious people over here. And it's also the 40th anniversary of Farm Aid, so it's going to be a big shaboodle this year, I'm guessing. I'm not going to Farm Aid. I would love to go to Farm Aid, but I'm not going to Farm Aid. Now, Farm Aid was put together back in the day by Neil Young, John Mellencamp, and Willie. And their mission has always been to support the local family farmer, which is what they have done. And to date, Farm Aid has raised over $80 million. If that number is incorrect, please let me know in the comments down below. But that's what I found, that they have raised over $80 million, which is pretty incredible to keep local agriculture going, because who else is going to do it? But what connection would Steve possibly have to Farm Aid? Well, I did also read that Steve's grandfather owned 2 dairy farms. He remembered always getting fresh ice cream, and he always kept with him the importance of what it is to have a local farm. So I'm guessing that's what his connection is to Willie and doing this for Farm Aid, but, you know, just a hunch. But it really does make sense. So I don't think Steve will be on the road again. See what I did there? Yeah, I don't think so. But do I think that, you know, we might get a few more of these wonderful songs from Steve? I do believe that is a definite possibility. I truly believe that. I also read that, you know, if Steve feels the need to create a song or sing a song and record it, he has the ability to go ahead and do so. So we want him to do so. We would like him to keep doing so. And we're happy that he did so with this and with Mr. Willie Nelson. The remake of Faithfully with Steve Perry and Willie Nelson not only is making us happy, but it's making a lot of local farmers very, very happy. Last time I checked, the video on YouTube, well, it's not a video, it's a cartoon, okay? It's not, I was really hoping, I mean, please, maybe there's gotta be footage of Steve recording in the studio and Willie recording where he was at. Man, just put that together, we don't care. Just put it together and put that in a video, and I just think, oh my gosh, everybody would love that. And you would get way more views and make so much more money from those views, because the last time I checked, I'm sure it's crazy. It's got to be up to 450,000 views, and the video wasn't even up 24 hours. So it's got to be way over that now. So maybe if we get that video of Steve and Willie recording and someone can put it together, you know there's footage. I'll make more money for Farm Aid. Just saying. So guys, thank you so much. Steve hasn't sung Faithfully in public for 30 years. 3 decades. But we got it now in 2025 with Willie Nelson. Very, very cool. Guys, I love you, love you, love you. And I will see you soon. Bye.